When I was in high school, I had maybe I shouldn't say what, what class it was. I had a teacher who was also the coach. And so sometimes Monday morning or whatever, they would be talking about the game. And I might get bored. Or he was figuring stuff out. Anyway, I had my issues with his teaching style, but he wasn't a bad guy. But I was a teenager. So he set us to studying the chapters that were upcoming. And my friend and I were just we weren't studying. And he called us out and he said, I'm giving a test tomorrow. And if you don't pass it with, I don't know, I had to get a really good score on it, or he was going to flunk me on the test. And I don't know what got into me, because I was not like bold or anything in school, but I could be a punk. I was a teenager. So I told him that I wasn't going to study and I would pass his test. And even my friend was kind of like, whoa, did you just throw down the gauntlet? And so I just didn't open my book and we kept chit-chatting. So I went home and I didn't take my book with me, and I came to the class the next day, and I will admit inside I was sweating a little bit. And I usually sweat on the outside, but I wasn't showing it. I still had my bluff on. So he hands out the test, and it was essay. Score. If he'd had a concept, like we had to get dates or anything, I would have been hosed. But he thought that I wouldn't be able to do an essay test. And I aced it. He also gave me an award for BS. But the reason I was able to win on the essay thing is because I was a reader. And reading had expanded my vocabulary. Oops, sorry, bumped it. And it's just not going to stop. And reading gave me a better vocabulary, so that anytime I had to figure out words or definitions, I did pretty good. I could quite often tell from the context what anybody wanted. And this was the huge gift of reading that saved me more than once. So when I became a writer, I have to admit, I'm not saying this to brag, I have a big vocabulary because I read a lot of wonderful authors who used their vocabulary to teach me vocabulary. And any kind of reading that we do, if it uses vocabulary, it can stretch us. And I have an issue with books that limit vocabulary. I don't say it's a bad idea, but they should just bump the level up a little bit. And because I learned vocabulary from the context of the words around it, I can't say I looked up that many words in the dictionary. I didn't know how to pronounce a lot of those words, and I still don't. But I was able to expand my world through words. And one of the things that I do in my books is I use words that I know. I probably couldn't I have never run my stuff through one of those things that tells what grade it is, because I don't care. I think my readers are smart enough to figure out what I'm saying by the context and what's in around it. And if I'm not sure, I'll add a little more context. But I love words. That's why I'm a writer. And I want my readers to enjoy that experience, that rich experience of someone who uses words. So if you're the kind of person that loves words and loves getting your vocabulary stretched a little bit, then you'd probably like my books. I do. But I love that. It's like how some people stretch their muscles before they exercise. I love reading and what it does to my mental muscles and how it expands my world. and it helped me pass tests. Just saying. Have a good day.